Hello there. My name is Webster Crocker. I'm the theatrics director for the Sherman Community Players. Today, we are going to present for you one of our travel shows, which is called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Normally, we do this in the school setting. Unfortunately, due to this shelter at home, we can't do that. So we are going to be performing it for you, and you can enjoy it in your own home. Now, we were able to perform one performance of this at Wakefield Elementary School before we got shut down. And in that cast at that time, we had Kelsey Leach, who played the wolf, and we had Becca Davis, who played the kid. Today, we will be having Brittany Crocker playing the wolf, and Emma Crocker playing the kid. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Hello there. My name is Professor Teller, and I am here to tell you a tale of daring adventure about one young child who faces the unscripted challenges of the world. It sounds kind of ominous, doesn't it? Don't worry, it all ends happily ever after. You believe me, right?
Ooh, I love a good story. Can I help, please?
I've already got everything all set up, and I've just delivered a very exciting and suspenseful introduction, so no.
Oh, why not? I really want to.
Well, here. Why don't you go out and sit with the rest of the kids out in the audience, and if I need your help, I'll call you for it.
Okay. Do you mind if I sit next to you? Thank you.
All right. Now, let us begin. Our story today is based on the subject of crying wolf. And what is that sound? It sounds like somebody's crying. And oh well. Crying wolf is when. Excuse me. I'm trying to tell a story here, and with your crying, I can't seem to get it across. So please, could you step over there and so I can finish my story?
Sure. It's just
Well, keep going. Keep going. A little bit further. There. Perfect. All right. Let's start again here. Now, crying wolf is when someone hollers for help from others when he really doesn't need any of the help. In other words, it's like trying to trick them or lying to them. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I've got to stop for just a moment and find out what's going on here. Yoo-hoo, would you come over here, please? Yes, come right here.
What do you want?
Well, as I tried to explain to you earlier, I'm trying to tell a story here, and I can't because of all the noise that you're making. So, what's up?
I am a crying wolf.
I can see you're crying, but why?
No, I am a crying wolf.
No. Not a crying wolf, but the phrase crying wolf.
What's the difference?
Well, you are a wolf, and you're crying. But the phrase crying wolf refers to when someone says something is happening when it isn't happening, which makes it like a...
Like tricking or lying.
What a very intelligent child there.
What? You mean, it doesn't mean a crying wolf?
No.
That's a relief. All this crying's been giving me a headache.
And making my ears hurt.
Sorry.
Can we get on with the story now?
Do you mind?
Oh, sure. Don't mind me. Just continue.
You know, you can stay and sit next to that little child and listen to the story.
Well, I'd very much like to, but no.
Have it your way. All right. Now, let's just dive right into the story. Today's story is called The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Now, once, there was a little boy who went to meet his grandpa up at the top of a hill just outside of town. Now, the boy was talking to his grandfather, and his grandfather wanted to pass the job of shepherding, which he was for the town, to the grandson.
Does it have to be a boy or could it be a girl?
Well, I hadn't thought about it, but in this story it's a boy. I guess it could be a girl if you wanted to.
What does a shepherd do?
I was just about to explain that, but you keep interrupting me.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
All right. Now, the grandpa told his grandson...
Granddaughter.
What?
I think it should be a granddaughter. Girls are probably better at shepherding than boys.
Do you mind? In this story, it's a boy, so a boy it's going to be. Now, can I go on?
Yes, please do.
All right. So the grandpa told his grandson that he was getting on in years, and it was time for him to pass the job of shepherding down to the grandson. You see, shepherding is a very important job. It requires the skills of watching over the sheep and protecting them from any harm or danger. And
Bah!
what?
Bah!
The sheep. I get it. Yes, that kind of helps to the background. So, as the grandpa continued to explain shepherding to his grandson, he finally finished and he passed the shepherd crook to his grandson.
What? His grandpa was a crook?
Oh, no, not a crook, a shepherd's crook. It's a tool a shepherd uses in order to herd the sheep.
Bah! Bah!
What's going on? Well, stop that, stop.
Well, you said the shepherd heard his sheep, so he wanted you to hear the sheep.
No. Herding the sheep is gathering the sheep together in a flock or group, not like you herd them. Here, let me demonstrate. Thank you. This here is a shepherd's crook, and this is what the shepherd uses to gather the sheep together. Let me demonstrate. Why don't you come up and help me with this?
Now you want me to help?
Well, at least for this demonstration, if you don't mind. Thank you. Now, the shepherd's job is to bring the sheep together to keep them from any kind of harm. And he does that by herding them into a flock or a group. This way, it helps to protect against the wily wolf who will try to sneak into the flock. And when he gets into the flock and the shepherd's not looking, he'll try to take the sheep from the flock. Here, I will demonstrate. You stand over there. Now the shepherd takes the shepherd's crook and gently guides the sheep in the direction he wants them to go until the sheep are all in a flock. Now, once they're in the flock, sometimes a sheep will go astray. And when they do, the shepherd takes the crook and brings them back into the fold. Now, do you understand?
Yes.
A crook and herd?
Now I get it. But how do they make sure they have all their sheep?
That's easy. Take this. They count them. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Uh-oh, he's fallen asleep. And I was so looking forward to hearing the end of the story. Oh, the book. Maybe I could look in it and and read the ending. Let's see. But if I do that, what about him? He was grouchy earlier, so I could let him sleep. But then y'all want to be able to hear the rest of the story. Let's check the book and see if they have any ways to wake him up. cried wolf to get attention to those who were around him. So let's try that. Wolf!
Huh?
Wolf!
What?
There's a wolf!
Wolf! Oh, no, no! Somebody's got to protect the sheep. Where is he? Where
Over
is he?
there.
What? Where? Werewolf!
Not werewolf, wolf.
What? I don't see any sheep or any wolf.
That's because there isn't any.
What do you mean there isn't any? You cried wolf, I heard it.
Well, the flock of sheep cried wolf. You fell asleep counting the sheep, and we needed to wake you up.
So there wasn't a wolf and you tricked me. Well, I guess I can't fault you for that, trying to wake me up, but you really shouldn't cry wolf when there isn't any danger. Otherwise, soon people will think that they're all being tricked and they won't come and help you. All right. Can I get back on with the story?
Yes, please do.
All right. Now, where was I? I put that book. Do you mind?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Well, when the shepherd boy was left alone with his sheep for the very first time, at first he thought the job was going to be kind of like an adventure. He pretended that he was like the drill sergeant, and he marched back and forth in front of his sheep like they were his soldiers, and they were making a plan in order to prevent the surprise attack of the wolf. Well, as the day went on, there wasn't much exciting that happened, and soon the boy's mind began to wander. He became enthralled with new and exciting ideas that he thought up. Like, he took his shepherd crook and pretended it was a sword, and he was battling pirates on a ship, sailing across like Errol Flynn. And then he took the shepherd's crook and pretended it was a cane, and was doing all kinds of dance routines in front of those sheep. And he wasn't too bad either. And lastly, he took the shepherd's crook and pretended it was an air guitar, and he was jamming out up there on that hill. But even those became boring after a while, and so the boy thought that he probably needed to call for some help.
Wolf! Wolf!
What?
There's a wolf!
Oh, not again! Well, don't worry. I will save you. Now, you sheep, do not fear, for I am here. All right, you nasty wolf. Come on out, and then I can send you back to where you came from.
What are you doing?
Oh, I heard your call, and I've come to save the sheep.
What wolf?
Well, you called, and I heard it. There isn't a wolf because you made it up, right? Why?
Well, I was listening to the story and got caught up. Sorry.
Well, I guess I can't fault you for that. Sometimes I myself get caught up in the storytelling.
Yes, you do.
Well, look, I really need to get back to telling this story. So if you don't mind, why don't you go back out and sit next to all your friends there and listen to the story, all right?
Okay. Although, this is becoming more fun. I really like the interactive part.
Well, no more interacting. Just sit out there with those other fine kids and listen. All right. Sorry about all that. Now, where were we? Oh, yes. Well, after the boy cried wolf, soon others around him didn't listen to him anymore and stopped calling when he cried. And that made it very boring for that shepherd boy up there on that hill with those sheep. Well, as the day was coming to an end, and the shepherd boy was about to gather up his sheep to head him back down the hill for the night, all of a sudden, he heard a strange sound. Did you hear that? I wonder what it could be. Well, and so he was gathering up the sheep.
Oh, look behind you!
Behind you.
No. It's a story here. In the book, there's really nothing behind me. It's in the story.
Whoa!
No, I appreciate you getting involved in this story, but Look, it's just a story.
No, there really is something behind you. Look.
All right. To humor you so that I can go on with the story, I will look. All right? Just as I thought. There is nothing there.
Wolf!
All right. Let me check over here. There's nothing there either.
Hey, he's right behind you.
All right already. I've already checked and...
Wolf!
What is this? Where did it come from?
Wolf!
You mean there really is a wolf behind me?
Yeah!
What do you want?
Well, I was listening to your story from off stage, and it gives a bad rap to us wolves. Besides, how would you like everyone always calling wolf? Why not try crying lamb or squirrel or kid? It's enough to make a grown wolf cry.
Don't cry, Wolf!
I never saw this story from your point of view. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too. It was all fun, but I guess we didn't think about what other people thought.
Well,
Here, why don't you take the book back to your herd?
Herd? Wolves don't live in herds. We live in wolf packs.
Like a backpack?
No. A pack is just a group of wolves.
Oh, then why don't you pack the book and take it back where it can never be heard from again?
now that is bad.
Gee, thanks for this book. It's always been one of my favorites, considering the part about the wolves. Well, thanks, bye.
Bye. That was nice of you to give him the book.
Wait! I didn't give him the book. You did.
Oops.
Great. Now, how am I supposed to finish the story without the book?
Well, if you let me, I can act it out.
I guess it's worth a try. What do we do?
Well, first, I need a shepherd's crook.
Okay. What can I do?
You can be a sheep.
What? Me? A professor? Wear a sheep costume? No. I have an idea. Why don't you wear the sheep costume?
No, I can't. I have an important part of telling the end of the story.
But I was telling the story.
Well, now I am, so you can put the sheep costume on.
Now I feel so sheepish.
Okay, then the shepherd girl herds the sheep down the hill.
Hey, wait a minute. Why did you change it to a shepherd girl?
Because I'm a girl and I'm telling the story. And her name's Mary.
Mary? Why Mary?
Because Mary had a little lamb that's fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go.
Made the children laugh and play to see a lamb at school. I like this ending much better.